Yeah, but I've had hundreds of jobs. I used to be a dustman once in Stoke Newington, and it was a lovely job. You know, in a way. I mean, it's horrible as well, especially then. I mean, there weren't plastic bags and stuff. We didn't even have gloves on, nothing. You know, unless we found some in the dustbins. And but when you get these bad things, you get the good things as well. You know, you get sublime moments. I mean, the bad one was like Monday morning, you'd turn up and you get hanging on the back of the cart and you get this horrible smell coming back again, and you could just see these hundreds and hundreds of dustbins all lined up in all the roads waiting for you till the end of the week, you know. But the good things were things that you couldn't get unless you had the bad things. And the blokes working on them were smashing. I mean, they had to be, you know. I mean, some of them weren't too bright, but they were all either lovely people or crazy. But you used to get these lovely sublime moments. There was, like, when the cart was full, the driver would take it off to the tip and you'd be stuck in the road waiting for him to come back. And it was in summer. It was just around the corner from where Arnold Wesker lived. I remember that because he used to have a German maid, and she used to do a lot of gardening and filled the dustbin up with stones, which we wouldn't take away because we were only supposed to take household rubbish. But that's between him and the council. But anyway, we were stuck there in this road, all the dustbins out on the pavement waiting for the cart to come back. And somebody found a huge stick of rhubarb. I mean, it was a real whopper. And they were standing by this dustbin, so they started, you know, doing it like a cricket bat, because the cricket was all blasting at everybody's tellies all up and down the road. So one of the lads fished about in his dustbin, and he got this rotten orange, and he did the whole bit, and he bowled it, and the bloke hit it with this stick of rhubarb, and the miracle was it didn't break. The orange actually flew through the air. And I reached out to catch it, and I've always been ham-fisted. I used to escape sports at school. But as I reached out through the air like that, this rotten orange just got impaled on my finger. I mean, it was marvellous. You couldn't get that unless you've been working on the dust. It's one of those moments that just makes the whole thing worth doing. Well, when I was on the dust, I started off as a relief. No, standby dustman I was first of all. Then I got to be a permanent relief, and I left before I got made up to a full-time dustman, which was a bit silly really, because it was just before Christmas when all the good money comes in. But I mean, you have to take the rough with the smooth. But the driver on one of the gangs I was on, he was on the Finsbury Park Flyers, who had the hardest round of the lot, and they really used to move. But you had to be fairly alert on that gang, because the driver was called Snuffy, and he used to buy 2 ounces of snuff every week. And he wasn't really a very good driver anyway, because he'd started off when they had Olsen cart and wicker baskets, and you know they changed over to cars, and you know to lorries, and he drove the lorry because he was the driver. But I mean, he'd never driven one before, and it took him some time to get the hang of it. But he didn't have to pass a test or anything in them days, and he was sort of knocking on for retirement. And what with his 2 ounces of snuff and his wartime experiences, because they used to use him and the dustman then apparently for getting all the poor buggers who'd been bombed out of their houses and carting them off. He was on the verge of flipping most of the time. He used to get terribly anxious about things. But this snuff used to induce these phantom traffic lights in him. And occasionally we would be speeding off to the tip or speeding off back to the depot, or whizzing round the corner to hide in the backyard of a pub and hole up there for the afternoon. And he'd get these phantom traffic lights and scream to a halt, and we'd all fall off the back. But I mean, you know, there's bad habits you can get, you know, you especially want to watch it with a snuff. Oh, I've got some here somewhere. As you can see from the dust, I don't take a lot of it.